Hey, you! You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed because you're an untouchable success. To support us and gain access to great exclusive shows like our brand new Supernatural watch-along Himboos, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You'll also get your lucky little mitts on hundreds of episodes of our other exclusive shows like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and the complete series of Fox Mulder is a Maniac. We do movie nights, game streaming, regular mini-series and surprise shows, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want, within reason. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by heading to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed. Probably don't need help with that word. The Sons were not in the movie. The Sons weren't there. It was just Mumford.
It was just, no Sons.
The band was named after this movie, right? That's...
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
1999's Mumford.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And yes, that's right. We just watched Mumford.
Mumford!
Starring everyone.
Starring everyone you can think of and some guy.
Hi. You must be Dr. Mumford of Mumford.
What kind of doctor are you?
PhD, psychologist.
Not a real doctor.
That's right, the fake kind.
How long have you been in this town?
Oh, I don't know.
4 months, 2.5 weeks. And you've already got more patients than those other two shrinks combined.
Everyone in Mumford is sharing their secrets with the new psychologist.
Feel free to lie down.
I better not. I'll fall right to sleep. I think it's too soon for me to be sleeping with you.
I wrote his name down. I forget.
Oh, I have a tab open about him for notes today because there is a fascinating tidbit about his backstory that I must relate because it ties into the film.
Okay. Well, just to start, big thank you to Vincent, our Patreon producer.
Thank you.
Who told us to watch Mumford, 1999's Lawrence Kasdan's Mumford, a movie I'd seen once.
Same.
As a kid, not a kid, I guess.
In 1999, yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw it as a rental.
Yep.
I was probably like 15-ish. I don't know.
I was 16, so yeah. I rented it because Jason Lee's in it.
Yes, me too.
Exactly, 100%.
You know what? I must have been 16. I was 16 in the year 2000, so it doesn't matter.
Whenever it was on tape is when I saw it, and I rented it because it had Jason Lee and Alfre Woodard in it. Mostly Jason Lee. But I also liked
Jason Lee.
Yeah. I also was really into Alfre Woodard because of Heart and Souls and Star Trek First Contact.
Yes, of course.
Obviously.
She's great in First Contact.
Yeah, she's great.
Jason Lee was the only cast member I remembered, so that was a shock.
This movie. Man, I did not remember Ted Danson.
No, or Martin Short.
Both Short,
assholes.
Yes. Man. Transcendent assholes.
Yes, this movie is a lot of people cast not against type, but in roles that you didn't normally like. There are like tweaks on what you normally see. What I mean is like Jason Lee, he plays a nerd in this, an awkward nerd, and I realized like he always played like a Gen X sarcastic guy. He's a Jason
nerd,
Lee type,
but more kind of aggressive or ascetic.
More confident in a shitty way.
Rather. Yeah,
and
more
realized,
shitty. And he's just very positive and like he's totally laid. He's still a nerd and very intense about it, but he's very laid back. He's the opposite energy of like Brody in Mallrats.
Yeah, and it works. Like his voice sounds like this unaffected Gen X slacker, but it also sounds like this like eager, awkward nerd.
There's no malice in it. He's never mad at anyone.
Yeah.
He's very naive. He's very earnest.
Yeah, and then similarly, Ted Danson, he's Ted Danson, but him playing like a slime ball of this level and Martin Short playing like kind of a slime ball. They're not like that funny.
No, particularly not Ted Danson. Ted Danson is just playing a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like Martin Short at least is doing a little bit of a bit, and it works because we're supposed to like Martin Short kind of at the end. Because he's a little, he's a little comical.
Reason.
Well, I get it because like the ultimate idea is he probably should have just listened to this guy's problems and helped him out.
Yeah. I wasn't like that confused, but they definitely yada yada. Like it feels like there was a cutscene or something.
This movie is on some boomer shit for sure. But this movie reminded me of something like sort of like Dr. Katz, and not just because of the therapy angle, but because it felt like kind of a loose excuse, not that loose, but an excuse to get a bunch of actors in to do a bunch of characters.
Well, this movie reminded me, and we definitely have to go through the cast, but this movie
weird thing
reminded
to say,
me,
but you know what I mean.
Yes. It's very 1999, and what I mean is it made me realize that in the 90s, there were two things that were seen as somewhat like, I don't want to say cutting edge, but novel. Mm-hmm. And that was skateboarding and therapy. Therapy specifically is treated in this like very different than it's treated now, where it's sort of about, it's not a, I don't mind this idea, which is that it's sort of taking the piss out of therapists and therapy as a profession, while not dismissing the need for therapy.
Right. The movie's point of view is kind of, see, therapy isn't all bullshit.
Yes. But it's from the point of view of a guy who's literally bullshitting his way into being a therapist.
But he's bullshitting by doing the genius thing of just not saying anything.
Yes. And just being compassionate and listening to people.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, like the movie, I'm sure Lawrence Kasdan is aware of this. Because the movie is aware that, or rather it seems aware that that's kind of what therapy is at its core. Like he states it very plainly, but he's like, I'm just trying to get at people's secret life and see if somehow that can maybe help them work through what they're working with. Which I'm paraphrasing, but he's basically stating kind of the goal of what therapy is. Like he's aware of what a therapist is supposed to do, and he is acting on it effectively in most cases, in a lot of cases.
This is for people who haven't seen this movie, I quite enjoyed my second viewing of this movie. It's very relaxing, I thought this movie was. It's like low stakes in a way. I want to talk about the structure. The structure I actually find to be kind of fascinating. But ultimately, this movie is like a Ghostbusters, and what I mean by that is that the villains are absolutely correct, but you still are like, boo! Let the fake therapist date his patient. It's like that.
Yeah,
where you're like, no, you should.
It's woke. It's a woke boomer.
Yeah,
like
it ends the only place it could, in a courtroom with someone going like, "What you did is very bad."
Yeah, and
they're not
angry
wrong.
at you.
Yeah.
And it ends with Jason Ritter having corrected Zooey Deschanel. Yes. Like now she's wearing a dress instead of having blue hair.
Yep. Zooey Deschanel.
It's got that
Taylor
90s
Vince.
Conservative bent to it for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pruitt Taylor Vince is my favorite arc, which is he teaches him to be a better pervert.
That was that
I
scene.
Love that.
I love that scene, and I get what he's going for, but it seemed to me like there was something so much more obvious that should have been in that box instead of vintage pornography. Do you know what I was? Because I saw this movie too, but it was only once 30 years ago, so I didn't remember. I remembered the broad strokes, but I
only remember Jason Lee and his sex robot. That was the only thing.
I didn't remember the sex robot. I remember that he and Alfred Woodard got together. And I remembered that Mumford goes to jail at the end. Spoilers. I completely had forgotten this storyline. So do you know what I thought was in the box that he was handing to him?
What?
A fucking typewriter.
Oh, yeah, that's such a good idea. That's such a better idea.
Right? I was like, he's being plagued
novels
by these erotic fantasies that have like kind of ruined his marriage because his sex with his wife wasn't living up to these fantasies. And it's like, write them down, be a novelist, because they're like these weird Dashiell Hammett-esque, like, you know, sleazy dime novel vintage porn rags from, you know, the 30s and 40s and shit. All of his fantasies star Holt McCallany.
Yeah.
From
it does.
Fucking Mindhunter.
Oh my God, which... proper, like, now all my fantasies are going to star him.
Well, they already did.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Now
but I love that
I have a
just
whole
like,
new context.
His arc is just, here's some better porn, and also find a new wife that'll like your weird kink.
Also, Mary McDonnell's really into this kink of yours. Yeah,
she is. Yeah, Mary McDonnell.
Mary McDonnell is in this. Hope Davis. Yep.
Martin Short, David Paymer, Ted Danson. We said Elizabeth Moss shows up.
She sure does for one goddamn scene.
It was a relentless movie when it came to this shit, where it was like, oh my God, stop.
Her dad, Hope Davis's dad, is Kevin Tiggy from Roadhouse.
That's where I know him from.
/ fucking Sawyer's dad on Lost, I think.
I recognized also Hope Davis's mom, her shitty mom is...
Her shitty mom is Addams Family Values. Or Addams
that's
Family
where
Values.
I know
She marries
from.
Cousin Ed at the end after Dan Hedaya dies.
Yeah.
I do not remember the actress's name. She's a that lady. Dana Ivey. She's a that guy.
Yeah, she is. It is, it's out of control because it's Lawrence Kasdan, which if people don't know who that is, he wrote Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark. He is considered he's considered one of the best screenwriters.
Yeah, really top. And he's also he's real mainline boomer shit. Like he was kind of like he also did The Big Chill is him.
Yes. You know what he would do right after this, right?
What year is this? 99.
What happened in early 2000 that he did?
9/11?
Yeah, you're close.
Was Lawrence Kasdan one of the architects of 9/11? That's right. Holy shit, he did Dreamcatcher.
He wrote and directed that as well.
My God.
He is an amazing writer. I'd say as a director, he has had some success. I would count this as success, Mumford.
Was not critically nor commercially a success, but...
Yeah. I just mean quality where I'm like...
I think it's a pretty decent movie. It's out of its mind.
Sorry, I just realized something else is that, you know who else is in Dreamcatcher? Jason Lee.
He sure is.
That's why.
Cast
these are two movies where... Yeah, they're two movies where I remember when they both came out, me going like, what the fuck is Jason Lee doing in this? He never became like a superstar. He'd an Enemy of the State. He'd always just show up and you go like, oh,
Enemy of the State was the year right before this. Yeah. Man, it does not feel like there was just 1 year between this and Dreamcatcher for Jason Lee.
No, there wasn't. There was a few years.
Oh, you're right. That's right. It's 2003.
Yeah.
It's 2003. So it's 4 years.
Yeah. I guess Jason Lee was just going to auditions during this time too and just being in things.
He was getting stuff.
Weird time.
Yeah, this was the 90s. What are you going to do? We have a Big Bang Theory in there.
Oh.
In the flashback, he was his college roommate.
Oh.
Simon Helberg is that actor's name.
This is definitely one of those movies that if you don't know Mumford, like I knew Mumford existed, it's a playing by heart. I've described playing by heart to you before.
I'm
where you go
very
and look
aware
at
of
it.
Playing by heart.
Yeah, you look at the cast and you're like, where was I for this? What the fuck is this? Like, why is there so many people in it? Why didn't anybody inform me of this movie? It's that, it's like, what the fuck is Mumford?
That's the Playing by Heart is the... Oh yeah, okay.
I'll
I had to pull it
the
up.
Cast of Playing by Heart. It has a romantic arc between Jon Stewart and Gillian Anderson.
Obviously, yep.
Yeah. Jon Stewart playing a non-comedy. Sean Connery is in it. Angelina Jolie, Ellen Burstyn, Dennis Quaid, what's his name? Jay Marr.
Jay Moore's
Brian
in it.
Phillippe.
Brian Phillippe's in it.
Yeah, that movie is out of its mind.
Sean Connery's romantic arc is with Ellen Burstyn.
Yeah.
We got
I don't
Madeline
want to spoil
Stowe.
Playing by Heart.
Madeline Stowe and Anthony Edwards are paired up in this. What the shit, Dave?
I'm going to spoil Playing by Heart real quick. It's not a huge spoiler. It's a romantic comedy that's a series of vignettes, or it's a series of stories of couples, and they seem disconnected the whole time. And then the reveal is that all the women are part of the same family. They're all sisters. It's not that much of a spoiler. Like, they all speak the same. So Gillian Anderson and Angelina Jolie are sisters, and they're all Bernstein and Connery's kids. Like the ending is like a family get together, and you realize, oh, they're all part of it. You're watching a family and their individual romances and situations. I liked Playing by Heart. I haven't seen it in a minute, but
another one is Keeping the Faith.
Oh yeah, with
Ben Stiller and Edward Norton, and
directed by Edward Norton, right?
Directed by Edward Norton, yeah. Similarly, kind of crazy. Like this movie is out of its mind. I do kind of like it, but it's also, I mean, it's madness. Like it really. What if this guy who just kind of was a drug addict for a while and then just sort of became an IRS investigator, got tired of his life, got sober at a clinic in the desert with some monks, and then just pretended to be a therapist in California.
I assumed that backstory was going to be revealed also as a lie, and I was like, nope, because he's basically like, I was like, oh, he's kind of a compulsive liar. I get it, but no, that is. This movie, it's a type of movie, I don't want to say we don't make anymore. It's just that we don't see in theaters or like, I mean, even this wasn't like a big film.
No, but it was like this is Hollywood or Touchstone Pictures, which was sort of like Disney's adult label. This was like a $28 million movie. So this was like mid-budget.
Yeah. And it's like a simmering comedy. And what I mean by that is it's more cute.
Yeah.
Than like haha.
Right.
And then it's like drama but low stakes. And it's just kind of like, again, I found it relaxing to watch in this way where you kind of can let it roll over you. It is wildly R, which it doesn't need to be, but it's adult in a way that I appreciate, that I feel like a movie like this wouldn't be R anymore. It's got tits in it.
It's got lots of tits in it. It's got F-bombs.
Yeah. Yes, it's because it's trying to feel adult in a reality way, where it's like the adult world has tits in it. It has swearing. It has, it is an R-rated world, so it doesn't feel like it feels like it fell on being R because the story naturally was that. If that makes sense.
Kind of what it's about too. It's about people sharing things about themselves and trying to get over or getting past these emotional barriers. About these deeply personal things. It's kind of about like the lies we tell, or the ways we cope. And like building a sex robot. Because of course Mumford is the ultimate version of this. He's a man who, like you said, Tom, had like this weird seedy past, who changed because he worked at the IRS, changed his information, and is now a small town psychiatrist who's doing fraud. He was a lit major, right? Like he's not. The idea is, of course, training. He's just good at bullshitting. Like when the other psychiatrists pin him down and have lunch, you think, uh-oh, and no, he's able to lie through that very casually and easily. It's a fun build. Because who was your mentor? This person. He died and a gazebo collapsed. What about who was your, my graduate advisor was this lady. She was killed in a train accident last year, sadly. And then it's like, who was your exam administrator? Maybe we had the same one because we took the exam in the same area. It's like, oh, it was this guy. And then she gets real sad. And it's like, that was such a tragedy. And he said, I know, they should outlaw hang gliding. I don't even know why it's a sport.
That was a good bit. So
what he did is that he looked up a real person and worked backwards from that. Like he was,
and he
like
had done his homework.
Yeah, you can see him doing that, being like, oh, well, this person died in a hang gliding accident. So as long as I list this person, anything else I say is plausible.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this one's verifiably true.
Again, that's why like the villains are right, because it's like he is a con artist and a liar. Mm-hmm. And like one of the plot lines is that he's seeing a patient with chronic fatigue, which in the 90s was even more like ambiguous of a condition. Like,
right, she's getting a lot of pushback from her mom, who's just like, it's bullshit.
Yeah, I actually liked the way the movie handled it, which is in the end, you don't really know how she got better. Like he takes her out there walking a lot. There's exercise,
and she's not 100% better. She's not like magically cured. It's definitely a gradient.
Yeah, you could tell that Kasdan didn't want to like weigh in on it.
No.
He was like, I'm going to make it ambiguous because
Well, he
I'm not
literally
gonna
shows
fucking...
Mumford looking it up on the
Yeah.
like the CDC website. So it's almost
Yeah.
like he's showing you, look, this is what they fucking said, all right?
Yep. And then at the end, she sort of says like, I don't know what did it. It could have been this. It could have been that. Maybe it like she's like says aloud, it could be any reason. I'm getting better. But he has a romantic relationship with her, his patient, and is a fake. And you're like, well, you shouldn't do that.
He doesn't have one yet, but he wants to have one. He becomes romantically interested in her.
By the way, they don't reveal that he's a fraud until 40 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk about the structure.
It's
overall,
kind of a
like,
noir.
Yes, but there's clues. Like I love that, and Jason Lee calls him out. He keeps casually telling other patients about his other patients and their personal lives, being like, "Yeah, that guy's really screwed up," and you're like, "I don't think a doctor does that."
It's jarring. That's the most obvious clue, and I think that's the last kind of clue that we get. When they're playing catch, and he just casually tells him about Pruitt Taylor Vince's problems, and Jason Lee kind of looks shocked, and we're like feeling the same way because we've been really on Mumford's side up until this point. This is kind of the first time he's really been out of pocket. That in a way that we're like, maybe this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But like you're right, before where it's like, oh, you just kind of casually happen to have the same name as this town. That's weird. And then he's watching Unsolved Mysteries very pointedly every night.
They bookend it with Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah. It's funny because I was trying to imagine watching this for the first time, and it is like for the first 40 minutes, you're like, what is this? Okay, yeah. What is this? Yeah. But yeah, there's little things like that where you're like, because the way I looked up his name, what is his fucking name? It's Lauren Dean. The way he plays it is like calm in this very like sweet way that borders on sociopath, like in a way where you're kind of the whole time you're like, what is his deal? It
reminded me of Jeffrey Donovan in Burn Notice.
I never saw Burn Notice, but I believe you.
He said that the premise is he's a guy that he used to work for the government. It was like a spy. So he plays many, many different roles and characters and stuff. And he always has sort of this smug self-assuredness to him. And Mumford has a lot of that, but in a gentler way. So we're a little bit more on his side. Like in Burn Notice, it's a action comedy TV show. So he's supposed to be a little bit more roguish. In Mumford, this is kind of a gentler, sweeter movie. So we're kind of, it's played he plays it in a disarming way here, but it is sort of like this kind of smugness. But you're like, oh, but he's very insightful with it. So, I guess he's just kind of like a no bullshit guy.
Right. And he's also kind of a blank slate where it's like the idea is
everybody
that
just
he talks
imprints
about
on
this.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, in all my jobs, everybody just started talking to me all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's the idea, is like he's disarming, but in a way where you can't tell if it's sinister. And the movie never really explores that.
No.
I would just say that Lauren Dean, who I do not know him besides this film, does a very good job as this character in this movie. It's like he brought more to it than the screenplay did. Or maybe that's the directing as well. But there's, again, he's like borderline sinister.
Yeah, and we don't ever learn anything. Like we're not entirely sure that everything he tells us by proxy Jason Lee, but this is when it's all revealed. We don't necessarily know if all of that is true, because the only thing that's confirmed is what we see reenacted on the Unsolved Mysteries episode later, starring Robert Stack as himself.
They do the flashbacks that are all POVs. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Robert Stack's in this technically.
He is.
But the POV flashback it felt very intentional. At the very end, he looks himself in the mirror and it reveals that it is in fact the person you're seeing. Mm-hmm. But it almost felt like the Smack My Bitch Up music video, where it was like hiding a twist, where I thought it was still like, okay, he's hiding something. Like I was expecting like a Usual Suspects twist at the end, because it was so evasive the way they were doing the flashbacks, that it's like, is this real or not? And I don't know if the implication is maybe it's not, You know, like maybe he isn't.
Maybe, yeah. I think so. I think so. I think that's definitely part of it. It also relates to the whole theme of avoidance that every character is sort of. Mm-hmm. And it is sort of shocking when we do finally see him, because it's barely recognizably him. He looks so bad when we finally see him in the mirror, and it's in such a different context than we've seen him. So we don't. So in a way, it's kind of like drawing out the reveal until the very end of his story, because we're seeing it all through POV. So we're still seeing Mumford as Doc Mumford, this guy who's completely in control. He seems a little unorthodox, but everything he says is very insightful and correct. Everybody feels relaxed around him. The audience feels relaxed around him. So when he finally closes the vanity and you see him in the mirror looking real bad, it's shocking. So I think it works in both ways.
Yeah, I think so.
And the script is really interestingly written in that way. I really like the way it's put together, and I love the way that he does commit to. This is sort of what got me onto this, but I love the way that he commits to never really revealing anything beyond that about him. We don't ever learn what his real name is. They make a joke of it. It's like the Captain America never saying Avengers Assemble in the Marvel movies. We keep getting brought up to somebody getting him to reveal what his real name is, and then it doesn't happen.
You're right.
And we don't, like I was saying, we don't learn anything prior to we don't learn anything beyond what he tells us in his flashback. And we know he's an unreliable narrator. So. Right.
And I guess that it plays into the need for therapy and what therapy is for people, and how it's this idea of him, like, I'm just giving people, it's basically people being able to talk out their own issues, and he kind of keeps them on track and like has light touches. And it's like, he's a blank slate. He's like, he could be a dog, you know, like it's that feeling of like, he's like purposefully kind of this,
and
more of a concept than a human.
That's the idea, right? Like with therapy, you're supposed to be able, right? Sort of.
I've never been to therapy. You tell me. I don't know.
The idea is that you have this person that you can share things with in a safe space with no judgment, and that it's basically about giving you advice and guidance.
Right.
And giving you tools that you can use when you're not in a conversation with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's the movie's also like a thing he says at one point to Hope Davis is, well, it's not really my job to figure out what's real or not. I'm just trying to like, but I know that whatever's bothering you is causing you like real tangible issues in your life. So hopefully maybe I can help you through that. I don't know. So the idea to me is that, well, he is a therapist. Like he is.
Oh,
he's functioning as a therapist. He understands what a therapist is supposed to do. Like he's existing as a therapist for the most part.
More than I think what Lawrence Kasdan is arguing, some therapists. Like I think he's talking about a little bit about academic detachment.
For sure.
Like that idea.
Getting lost in the weeds.
Yeah, David Paymer, a therapist, goes to him for therapy at one point.
Yeah.
Which is a good little idea. And it's that idea of that, like, when you're like a doctor or a therapist, we've all experienced this. Going to one is that sometimes they don't seem to see you as a person, you know, like it's that feeling of like Mumford is, his lack of training makes him more qualified in this town or with these specific people in this sense. Like that's kind of what they're talking about is like, you know,
he wasn't predisposed to any specific methodology.
Yeah, so he's not looking for anything.
One of the ways they try to corner him in that lunch, David Paymer and the psychologist, they ask him about all of his references and his background, and then they try to pin him down about his methodology, and that's kind of what he says.
And he's honest.
He's completely honest. He's like,
he's a great liar.
Yeah,
yeah, he's a great liar in that he knows when to be honest.
Yeah,
yeah. It's, I don't know. it's a very again, it's a very interesting movie.
It's a weird movie.
Yeah. It's very, again, it's very 90s in that like therapy is treated as shameful. Like some of his patients go out the back. Everybody who he sees has a problem. Like there's no one who's just going to therapy for therapy.
Right.
So everybody he sees has like a thing, which feels very 90s view of therapy.
Right. A specific thing that you're avoiding. And once we flip that switch, it will be this release. And we literally see it happen with Mary McDonnell.
Yes.
Which I mean is not, people do have breakthroughs that are like that. Of course.
For sure.
But
it's a movie.
Yeah.
Like that. So I wanted to talk about
and
the
not
structure,
everybody has that, but they do have a couple of characters that do that.
Yeah. No, the structure I thought was interesting because it's two arcs overlaid but staggered. And what I mean is things don't quite happen when you think they should. Like we said, at 40 minutes in, he finally reveals to Jason Lee, I'm a fraud, because he's actually friends with Jason Lee and he feels comfortable being able to, they share a secret basically with each other. That in any other movie you'd think would happen like 20 minutes in, because that is essentially the inciting incident, because it ends also with him being found out, right? So that is, we have our main character and we have like the first 40 minutes, you're kind of like, I wrote down, it feels like he's on you're playing a video game and you start with a series of side quests before going to the main mission. Yeah. Because the first 40 minutes are him just seeing various patients.
Yeah, kind of dicking around.
And all those patients are interesting, but you're like, where is this heading? Why am I watching this? And what I realized is that every patient has an arc as well. Mm-hmm. So what the movie does is it starts with the patients, and then if you notice around, I think like this movie is about
2 hours.
I forget. 2 hours.
Yeah.
So around the hour and a half point, he starts ending the arcs of the patients. So there's like one arc that's the patients, and then his own arc comes later and ends later.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it works that way because by the end, when he's found out, the reveal is obviously that everybody in the town is like, so what?
Yeah.
He's a fraud? So what? He helped
Is he?
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like, I don't know. I think that's interesting because Kasdan is such an experienced writer that he's almost like playing with structure a little bit.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's making us trust Mumford.
Yes.
In this role
kind of
as
making us like him.
Exactly, 100%.
And having him confess basically to someone. And to us, as opposed to us finding out some other way, helps us be on his side as well.
Yeah.
Confess to Skip Skipperton, by the way.
Skip Skipperton, yeah.
When I saw that name, I was like, what asshole wrote this? And that's how I found out it was Kasdan. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Huh.
Skip Skipperton?
Well, how about that? He does a lot of skating in this movie. It's rad.
Yes, it's very 90s where they're like, we have an actor who can skateboard. Skateboarding is very rad, as you say.
Yeah.
So we're going to stop everything to show him skateboard every now and then.
Including a couple of shots where I was like, he's a major character in this movie. If he had, I don't know, slipped there and bashed his head on the steps.
There has to have been insurance or
Production
something.
stops.
Yeah, or they just had someone else ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Lot of skating. It's pretty
yeah,
fun.
he's not wearing a helmet in those scenes.
Nope.
I was like, damn.
And it is him.
Yeah. He's absolutely Jason Lee.
Yep. So you're like, okay. It ends with the cover of Yakety Yak done by Phantom Planet because it's 1999.
Oh, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because it's 1999, baby.
Yeah, it's very, all right, it's not very 90s. It's not the most 90s a movie has been.
No.
It's
very boomer 90s.
Yeah.
Like this movie is edging American Beauty.
Yeah, it's almost Gen X 90s, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't
that's more
feel
accurate.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like too eye-rolly boomery. Because
no. There's definitely that boomer conservative streak in it. That's kind of what I keep hitting it with. Because like like all Zoe Deschanel needed was to be corrected by the right by the right good dick.
We haven't talked about Zooey Deschanel's fucking arc, which is probably the worst part of the movie.
Yeah.
She's great in it.
Yeah,
I liked her in it. But
and
she's
then-
like a teen who's
Yeah.
like wants to be skinny, is already skinny, but is obsessed with magazines.
Yeah.
And then she basically he hooks her up. They basically, I don't know, Mumford doesn't really set it up, but she basically meets a guy, and then she's fine.
Yeah.
And then
It's all fine. He buries his 22.
Yeah, she fixes him too, I guess.
Yeah. But it also ends with, like we were saying, it ends with him being found out as this insidious fraud. The film itself actually uses that word.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of like, the movie's like, is he really though? Because he helped all these people?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Fine.
They do the thing where they kind of lampshade it, because they have the judge be like, all these people are on your side. I don't give a shit. The only reason you're getting this sentence is because this state doesn't have good criminal code, and the maximum penalty I can give you is this. Like he gets away with it because because the state criminal code is bad. That's it. And so she just goes like 6 months. That's all I could give you.
Right. He doesn't get away with it, but this is kind of what happens. He is sentenced to 6 months and a $2,000 fine. Presumably, he will be forbidden from practicing as a therapist in any kind of way, any capacity, as a therapist or life coach. Well, I guess they can't forbid him from acting as a life coach.
No, probably
but,
not.
Just not as a therapist.
He's gonna write a book, Tom.
Oh, fuck it, of
he's
course he
gonna write a
is.
book.
And they end it with you're going to have 3 months incarcerated and 3 months in house arrest plus the $2,000 fine. And then Martin Short, who we've only disliked up until this moment, up until we learn that he's suddenly his lawyer, has said, "Don't worry, I'll get him out in half the time." So we're supposed to be rooting for this criminal fraud who, if he looked any different, perhaps, maybe wouldn't be skating by so easily. And then this fucking slime ball that we've really disliked the whole movie is like, I'll use my slime ball powers to get him to avoid paying even less of his debt to society.
Again, it's very 90s.
Yeah.
It's very even 80s. It's very Ghostbusters goes before a judge who then gets personally attacked by ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like, hey, this bad guy is 100% correct. But
Also,
we all love him.
He's treating, like, it ends in a sunny place with Hope Davis, but he's treating somebody who probably has chronic fatigue syndrome, which is like he
shouldn't be treating
He shouldn't
her.
be treating people, period. So anyway, it's like the movie ends in a very best possible situation.
And
Because he
then
could have
I
very easily caused like this woman irreparable harm.
Yeah, I do like the ending where he's in the back of the cop car and the cop starts telling him about his problems.
Yeah.
And so it's like the cycle continues,
Yeah.
that he just can't avoid it. That the idea is he never asked for this. It's just happens to him.
Yeah, people just like talking to him.
But yes, it's very boomer / 90s / where it's like, I think Lawrence Kasdan does a great job. So I am on Mumford's side at the end, while I know in the back of my head, I shouldn't be. If I read this on the news, I wouldn't be. It's that.
Yeah.
It's that where it's like, no, this is not good what he did. But, and a lot
Like
of movies
Mumford,
do
you
this.
rascal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's less insidious than other movies might be with this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I would argue these days, like, we're rooting for like Iron Man to do fascism, like where it's like we're all like, yeah,
Control
do it,
the
Iron
world's
Man.
energy.
Yeah. So it's like there could be. This is movies.
Yeah.
Again, it's movies.
Stop
movies.
those people from stealing food, Captain America.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what that series was about. But
Yeah.
anyway,
It's movies.
it's
Yeah. It's just very funny watching
Yeah.
this, and
it dates it in a lot of ways in that aspect for sure.
I would say it's dated mostly in quaint ways. Is I guess what I'd say.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not like harmful, or at least not like so much so that you would be mad at the movie.
Yeah. Not as considering what it's about. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. Yeah. It didn't. It aged pretty well.
Its heart's
Honestly,
in the right place.
its heart's in the right place, which always helps.
And then on top of it,
because you can always tell intent above execution. I think. Well, not always, but when you can, it makes up for missteps in the execution. I think is a better way of saying what I meant.
yes. And then it also, I can't stress this enough. What I really like about this movie is vibes, where that it's like, it's slowed down in a way that I feel like movies like this, even today, or even at the time, wouldn't necessarily be, where it's like, let's do this long shot of Mumford walking home with his groceries. Then he walks up these stairs and he looks at the view and it's gorgeous. And he goes inside and he switches on, and we're like just seeing his routine. And there's a lot like Jason Lee and him just playing baseball in a field, just playing catch and like chatting. And it just feels like the pace it's not boring. It's like calming. I don't know how else to put it. Is it like the movie was, I found very relaxing to watch because the Mumford, the town, is gorgeous. And I don't know where they shot it.
Napa Valley,
but it's
I think.
oh, that checks out.
Or Sonoma.
And it's very pretty, and the movie takes its time, and it just gives you these like little bits of therapy and these characters that you're learning about, and their little stories. Like, it's weird to say that I could see a Mumford TV show.
Oh yeah, it's structured like one almost, with all these characters and their different arcs.
Yeah, and their own little arcs and story, like a 6 Feet Under type show, like where it's Mumford, where it's just kind of following this stuff and kind of living in it. I want a Mumford video game, Tom, where you just walk around the town helping people out.
Yeah, you could make like a Telltale game, Mumford.
Yeah, why not?
Where it's all based on building the relationships with the characters and like your responses to people. You could totally make a Mumford game. I would play that show.
Oh, somebody make a Mumford video game. It'll make
Mumford game.
No money.
It will make exactly 2 sales.
Yes, it will.
At least.
We'll push it. We'll spend a year pushing it. Won't make a difference.
Won't make a dime.
Sales.
Won't make a dime of a difference, but we'll love it. We should make the Mumford game, Dave.
Yeah, we should.
Should be us. Why not us?
Why not?
Now I want to make sure I'm right about Mumford, where it was filmed. Where it was filmed. I remember I watched the credits because I wanted to see who was singing that song. Bob Seger, Dave.
Oh my God!
Bob
yes.
Seger.
Again, this movie that we're describing also is filled with tits, specifically fuck
Lots
robots.
Of tits, yeah. Not just fuck robots though. There's real life tits.
Yeah, there's human tits.
There's human tits.
I think the fuck robot, that's the thing. The fuck robot scene, I was like, you just
I should probably explain that.
Shot up your production budget, Mumford. There's a lot of stuff like, so Jason Lee is
Napa Valley.
Jason Lee is a tech billionaire who is lonely, and instead of taking over a social media network and becoming a Nazi, he just builds a sex robot, which they're also doing that too. But then his arc is basically he's building a fuck robot. He's ashamed by it. Mumford correctly is like, oh, dude, that's nothing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like
he says on the dirty secret scale, that's a 2.
Yeah. And then Jason Lee ends up meeting Elfrey Woodard. Woodard. Who's kind of like, I'm so much older than Jason Lee, and Jason Lee didn't give a fuck, and they just hook up, and he's like, you know what, I don't need to build sex robots anymore. Yeah. Which is funny because it's like, that's money on the table, man. Like you should still do that.
Mumford tells him as much. He's like, no, I think that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
No, I think you should do that. I think you should make that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'll help some people. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't go that. He doesn't go that far as to say it would be helpful, but he does say it suggests that it would be lucrative.
Right. By the way, I just want to note, because it's the 90s. Jason Lee plays a tech billionaire who makes modems, and his total amount of money he has is $3 billion. And I was like, that is adorable.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean,
what were you gonna say?
What was I gonna say?
Mumford. Where is Mumford? You were looking up.
Napa
Mumford
Valley.
Is.
I did identify that. I was going to tell the story about Lauren Dean, the guy who played Mumford.
Please.
So the interesting thing about Lauren Dean is that he has this dude that repeatedly impersonates him.
What?
There is a con artist named Lauren Dean Breckenridge III who has repeatedly impersonated the actor Lauren Dean.
Does he give like the Mumford defense? Is he like, hey man, you said it was fine. You and Mumford said it was fine.
That might be part of his defense. I don't know, but just reading from Wikipedia, he's the sheriff's department in Orange County has accused Breckenridge of impersonating Dean and defrauding drug rehabilitation centers across the United States, stealing $75,000. He was also in. This is the craziest part. I mean, it's all crazy. But the craziest part is that he was also arrested, this guy, for impersonating White Zombie's drummer.
So, all right, this guy likes to impersonate low-level celebrities,
right?
Which, when you think about it, is brilliant.
Not a bad thing to try, yeah.
Yeah, if you're saying, I'm Brad Pitt, people will go, no, you're definitely not. But if you say, I'm Lauren Dean, who was in Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, they'll go like, sure. Maybe, because I don't know what that guy looks like, if I'm being honest. Nothing against Lauren Dean's career.
But he could tell people, I'm Mumford. And you'd be like, maybe. I was in Say Anything with John Cusack. Maybe you were.
Did this fraudster change a small town and like maybe?
No, I think he just stole $75,000.
That's fair. Lauren Dean, by the way, he's like the Waldo of movies. Just looking at his career, he was in Space Cowboys. He was in Enemy of the State with Jason Lee. Gattaca. He was in Apollo 13. I remember him in that. He's one of the nerds. Just look at him. You can tell.
He's Billy Bathgate in Billy Bathgate.
He's been in 3 space movies because he's got astronaut face.
He does have astronaut face.
Or he has mission control face, I would argue.
He was apparently on Bones as well.
Yeah.
That Deschanel connection.
I wonder, I think he's a techie or a government guy in the room in Enemy of the State. He has nerd face. Here's a gaggle of nerds. He's holding his pen. He makes a suggestion. And then like the boss tells him it's smart or tells him to fuck off. He has that.
Yeah.
And again, he kills it in this. He's great. He makes the movie.
He's really good in this.
Yeah. But like
one other that guy I wanted to point out is his partner, Gregory.
Who is he?
He's an actor named Kirk Fox, who's been in a lot of things, but the thing I primarily remember him from is he is in Forgetting Sarah Marshall as the dude who's recording Jason Segel when he gets up and starts attacking the projector.
Oh.
With his podium. And he's like, you're fucking Billy Baldwin, aren't you? And he's like, I got Lakers tickets, man. But he's also from Jury Duty.
Oh, shit. What a weird career.
Yeah. He's one of the guys in Jury Duty.
This movie is out of control with its cast. It's like an assortment of people who I'm like, these people, do they hang out? I guess they all kind of are in comedy. Sort of.
I guess so, yeah.
A lot of them are comedy adjacent. Again, Elizabeth Moss, they didn't even know she was Elizabeth Moss. She's a teenager.
No, she's just an actress.
Yeah. She plays the teenage daughter in one scene.
Mm-hmm. A single scene. Yeah. Man.
Yeah. Mumford, man. I quite like, this is like a Gosford Park to me where I'm just like, this kind of is a comfort film now where I'm like, this is a
weird time capsule, kind of out of its mind, but like a weirdly pleasant movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It might be my favorite thing Lawrence Kasdan has directed, which is not a
Wait, did he direct Silverado? List. I still like Silverado.
Let me look.
Silverado.
Yes, he did.
Sweet.
And The Big Chill.
The Big Chill's all right. The Big Chill's another movie that's quietly out of its mind.
I'd have to watch them all back to back, but I'm like, right now, Mumford's in the lead for me, personally. I want a video game. I want a sequel.
Man.
I want a movie series.
We can make one.
Yeah. Someone could make this a movie series or a TV series easily. Like, weirder things have happened. You know what I mean? Where I'm like...
Yeah, they made Parenthood into a series.
Exactly.
This movie's not dissimilar from Parenthood.
It would be mostly for old people, but I would watch it. It's just, yeah, it's just got this touch of morphine in the tone that I like, where I'm just like, this is a comforting movie. It's like lying in a field.
Strangely, yeah.
Yeah.
I love seeing Martin Short and Ted Danson play Slimy.
Yes,
Like I said, particularly Ted Danson, because he's not being funny. Martin Short's
No,
playing
he's
a
not at
character,
all.
because I'm not. Martin Short always
Martin
plays
Short's
character.
funny, but he is still slimy.
Or he's not likable. He's like he is in Mars Attacks, where he's
I was about to
completely
say.
completely odious and unlikable, but also likable because he's over the top and a cartoon character of a villain.
And you know who he is.
Yeah, he's like this cartoon scumbag. Whereas
It's
Ted
definitely
Danson is just a real life scumbag in this.
Yeah, Ted Danson is like not a fun, where it's like, why is Ted Danson even doing this? I guess because it's Lawrence Kasdan.
Because it's Lawrence Kasdan, yeah.
Yeah.
And because he probably read the script. He's like, nobody ever asks me to do characters like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. He's good at it.
He is. I love Ted Danson.
Yeah, Ted Danson's great. I think this will be less out of type for him now, because I feel like more people would be familiar with stuff like when he was doing the stage of his career where he's like, I don't have to be nice all the time. So he did stuff like Becker and The Good Place.
Yeah. Fargo. Remember Fargo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ted Danson is like, he's a weird actor because he's funny, but I
very
never
funny,
think of him as a comedian, if that makes sense, because his like peak was kind of before my time. It's like if someone today was looking at Steve Carell and going like, oh, I guess he was at one point like a funny guy, period. And now it's like he's more of an actor. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Ted Danson had whether he was just an actor who happens to be very quick or if he started with a comedy background. I don't know that much about him before Cheers. I
know that he wore blackface. I know that about him. He did that. He did the blackface, right? That's a
maybe
artifact.
That feels familiar.
Oh, I'll go ahead and Google that real quick.
That sounds right. I don't know.
If I recall, it was because, okay, yeah. It's an unfortunate time. It was a scandal. It was during a roast honoring his then girlfriend, Whoopi Goldberg. So he was dating Whoopi Goldberg and he was doing a Friars Club roast, a place where you're supposed to be edgy. And even for the 90s, they were like, no, Ted Danson. You got carried away, Ted Danson.
That was, boy, oh boy. That just came crashing back into my memory.
Oh, yeah.
Their relationship, him and Whoopi Goldberg, it was very tabloid. It was very Bennifer, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Tabloids really loved it. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, why could that be?
And then, he also used the N-word a bunch during it as well.
Oh gosh, Ted.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I knew the general idea that Ted Danson once did blackface because it's been a punchline. It's just a wild. It's just a wild thing that happened.
Man, that was you
Ted.
just unearthed some distant corner of my memory. Boy, early 90s media.
Again, to the
Holy
I
cow,
guess
Ted.
to the 90s credit, or to make it worse, is that I'm looking at a New York Times article from the 90s that's just like, boo, like, no, don't do that.
That's bad. You should not do that.
Yeah, Ted. Anyway, The Good Places. He's great in that.
He's great in The Good Place.
Mumford.
Fucking Mumford.
Yeah. Fucking Mumford. I'm so glad I got to watch this again. Because it was
odd
just
film.
Right. It wasn't a movie that I recalled loving when I watched it the first time, but I didn't think much of it. And maybe it's because I was young. Like watching this now as an adult, I'm like, it's a very adult film. Mm-hmm. You know, it's about therapy and it's like about working on yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like small town life.
You kind of need to be in a certain headspace for it, for sure.
Right. And so it's sort of like, it's like It's like something you slap on in the retirement home. It's just like calming and charming, but not like ha ha.
Yep. I'm gonna be
It
sitting
won't
there
cause like
just piddling on myself watching Mumford. eating
yeah,
oatmeal.
exactly. It's just safe. Weirdly safe for a movie with so much robot tits in it.
Yeah, no, I remember liking it when I saw it, but not like being definitely thinking it was a weird movie and not revisiting it.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but
I didn't
definitely
hate it,
this
but I
time
definitely
this
didn't
time
like it.
around, I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed it more than I remembered enjoying it this time, for sure.
Yeah.
Still thought it was weird as hell, though.
Yeah. Very weird. Very weird movie. What an artifact.
It's pretty.
I think that's all I have to say about it.
I think so. Oh, just to point out that as I was looking up all of the cast, I didn't realize this. Hope Davis is the French ticket agent in Home Alone.
Oh, yeah. I've seen her around, Hope Davis.
She's on Succession, I believe, right?
Is she? That sounds like something she'd be.
Everybody's in Succession. She's
Again, there's
also
a
Tony Stark's mom.
Yes, I remember that. This movie is made up, like we said, of that guys. Like, Alfre Woodard is like, she's not like a superstar, but you see her and you go, I know her.
She worked
obviously I was like,
steadily
that's
through
Picard's
the 90s. Yeah, like she was a
time travel
mainstay
girlfriend.
for Lil Tom's movie watching throughout the 90s. She was in a lot of movies I saw.
Yeah. She's great in Luke Cage more recently.
I haven't watched Luke Cage. I haven't seen most of the Marvel TV shows.
Well, yeah, Luke Cage is good, and Jessica Jones. If you haven't watched both seasons of Jessica Jones, that's you should do that.
Yeah, I should get on that. You're right.
Yeah. She was in Primal Fear. Mainly, again, she was time shtup in Picard.
Primarily,
Although I don't
that.
think they shtupped.
No. They connect though. They connect as two souls.
Yes. Yeah. She tells him off and calls him Ahab.
She does. Ahab
breaks
has
his
to
little
catch
ships.
his whale.
Yeah. Oh, I want to watch First Contact.
It's good. It's a good film.
It is. She was in the core, Tom.
I know this. We can be done.
We can be done. Hey, Vincent, seriously, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I had a great time watching Mumford.
Yeah.
I had a delightful afternoon.
Same.
Yeah.
I love revisiting weird movies like this.
Yeah, same. Vincent did this through our Patreon. We have a tier where you can have custom We Just Watched episodes. We have many tiers, in fact. For just $5 a month, you get access. Oh, it's patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed, by the way. And for $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder's a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and Himboos, our supernatural podcast. For a little more, $10, you get all that, and you watch movies with us every Friday night.
It's true.
Yeah, we watch 2 movies back to back. We have fun doing it, and we there's a bunch of people on there. We all chat on our Discord. So yeah, check that out. We'll probably watch Mumford.
We might.
I don't see why not.
We might watch Mumford.
Yeah.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists, like Michael Vincent Brantley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Please rate and review our podcast wherever you're listening. Check out our other podcast, Badical, Badical, also wherever you're listening. And I think that's all the things.
Yeah. Mumford and Dreamcatcher back to back. Now that's a double feature.
Yeah. Try your luck at impersonating the drummer from White Zombie.
I could do that. Like, I think anybody
Right?
could do that.
Either one of us could do that, Dave.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, all you need
somebody
is,
would
like-
be like, maybe.
Right. All you need is drummer energy.
Yeah.
And you're already there if you're doing fraud. If you're trying to do fraud, that's already kind of drummer energy. So you're good.
At least 30% of any drum line is bullshit.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artnessbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.